Hi, I'm Missy with On William Street, and we are here to help you become a more confident quilter, from the piecing to the quilting and everything in between. So this week we are here to talk about flying geese, and we are going to show you a really easy way to create flying geese using foundation paper piecing. And you'll be able to find all of the details of what we're going to be going over today in our blog. So go ahead and click on the link below this video. It'll take you to our blog. You can check everything out there. All of the instructions will be there. You can also check out our shop and find your next modern quilt pattern. So today we are going to be making flying geese using foundation paper piecing. These ones are going to finish at 3 by 6. And you can see that we've got a row of 3 that we're going to be doing. You can also, if you only wanted to make one flying geese, just go ahead and trim your 1/4 of an inch line up above the top of that one. Or if you wanted to make 2, again, you trim it up at the top of that. So if you're not doing 3 in a row, it's really easy to just kind of trim that paper to get what you need. We're also going to have a pattern available in our shop that you can check out that is going to include lots of these paper templates for you. So we're going to start with 1 by 2 inch flying geese, so little tiny ones, all the way up to 5 by 10 inch flying geese, and it's going to be every 1/2 inch in between. So you will be able to have lots of options to help you with any patterns that you're working with that use flying geese. So if you are new to foundation paper piecing, and this is not something that you've really done very much of before, we do have a video that goes over a tutorial of very specific on foundation paper piecing that you can refer to. You can find that in our YouTube channel. So if it's something that you need a little refresher, or if you're brand new, go ahead and check out that video. So what we're going to do with these flying geese is we've got our A triangle. So I'm gonna get my fabric pulled out here. And make sure that when you are putting your fabric on your pattern that you are putting the right side out. But I'm just going to kind of use this to gauge how much fabric I need to cut off here. So when we finish our flying geese, they're always going to be right side out. So we want to make sure that the fabric, if we're using prints, is right side out. So we've got that placed. So we're covering this entire triangle. And then we've got our A2 here. Start laying flat there. So we're going to fold our paper over right there on that line. Give it a little crease. And then we can bring our ruler in, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that 1/4 of an inch seam. And then this is where we're going to bring our background fabric in. So first we want to make sure that we've got a piece that's going to be big enough to cover this little triangle right here. So I've got this piece. I can lay it right over the top to make sure that it's going to cover. We got plenty of room. So then I can just lift this up, bring that triangle in, lay it right there on the top. Match the seam that we've cut right up there with the edge of that fabric. And again, we can kind of see that there's plenty of room. If we wanted to check this side, we lift this up. We got lots of room to work with. We've probably got a lot more room than I typically do when I'm doing foundation paper piecing, but I want to make sure that we've got lots of space to play in. Then we're going to fold that paper back over, and we're going to go over to the machine, and we're going to stitch along this line. So when you're stitching, you want to make sure that you are stitching into, even though the line ends here, you want to stitch all the way to the end. This dotted is part of the seam allowance, so we still want to stitch through that seam allowance. And then if you were just making the one flying geese at this point, you would want to also at least mark or else even trim your paper that 1/4 of an inch so that you again sew all the way up through the seam allowance and not just end right there. But because we are going to go ahead and do the full 3, we're going to sew from this point all the way down. And if you want to, you can use pins to kind of help hold the paper and the fabric in place when you move over to the sewing machine, but it's up to you, you don't have to. Okay, so we've got that first side put in there. We were going to just give it a good finger press. When I'm doing a foundation paper piecing, I usually just do finger presses in between, and then after I've finished the block, we give it a really good press with the iron. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fold this over, give it a nice crease on that line, and then cut our 1/4 of an inch seam. Then we'll grab the next piece, and again, we're going to line it right there up along that seam. Make sure that we've got plenty of fabric on all sides to cover that, and then stitch that line. Okay, now we've got our first flying geese is complete, and we're ready to move on to the second one. So again, we're going to give that a nice crease, just a finger press. We're going to fold this over, and we're going to move on to this A4 section. So for this next one, I'm going to grab that next piece of fabric, add in a little pink. We want to make sure that we're cutting a piece that is going to be big enough to cover this triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it right on, again, on that 1/4 of an inch seam, and just cut this fabric that way. Okay, then my piece is actually already ready. It's got the right side of the fabric to the right side of the fabric, because when we fold that over, we want to make sure that the right side's sticking out. I'm going to fold that back over, and then we're going to go ahead and sew this seam. Okay, and then we have our next triangle ready to go. We can give it a nice finger press, and we should have some nice points right here. And flip that over, and then we're going to go ahead and just continue on with the process and finish up all of these flying geese. So we'll go on to A5. Okay, so now that we have all of our flying geese complete, we've got some nice good points. That's really the big benefit of this method, is giving those nice points on your flying geese. So now we can go ahead and give it a good press on the iron. I like to give it a good press before I trim it. So we're going to press that, and then we're going to cut it out along this dotted line. So that's going to give us our 1/4 of an inch seam. Okay, now that your flying geese are complete, you can go ahead and take the paper off at this point if you would like to, and sew it into the rest of your design or the pattern that you're working on. And remember, if you want to try this technique out, you can find this template for 3 by 6 inch flying geese. That's what they will finish at. So 3.5 by 6.5 with your seam allowance in our subscriber library. And if you want to do just one, you can go ahead and just trim those 1/4 inch seams wherever you want to finish up those flying geese. If you, excuse me, if you want to just do 1 or 2, the pollen is getting to me. So you can also, if you want to do other sizes, remember to check out our shop, and we will have a pattern there with templates for lots of sizes, all the way down to your 1 by 2 inch little tiny flying geese up to your 5 by 10 inch flying geese. And while you're there, make sure to look over our quilts and find your next modern quilt project. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see what we're working on next, the different things that we're coming up with. And we will see you next week.